Previously on Drake Paragon.
You got your Sea Circus patch on? Okay, so we're pushing off from Iceland. Have a good watch. Those are the Vestmann Islands, a part of Iceland.
There's rolling fog that's kind of coming in.
It's been a rough sail from Iceland.
We're almost there.
Certainly could have slept for more though.
I asked you last night.
You asked me what?
You wanted to sleep more.
What did I say?
No.
Why?
Midnight, 3, 6.
Oh yeah, that's important. Once you go off of the,
Yeah, but I realized that we were going to be coming in today. And that you were probably going to want to be up as we're approaching land. And since we weren't approaching land last night, I thought I could stay on for another 3 hours and give you some much needed rest.
We're going to do fine. But I think it makes a lot of sense to try to stick with the watch rotation. Not like, give somebody an extra hour, take an extra hour, keep it on the same hours of the clock. That's why you don't have to think about it. If it's just another thing that you don't have to even think about, that's good. You got enough to think about already.
I don't know that I really agree with that.
Well, when you have enough experience, you will understand.
I just think that, especially with 2 people, if one person's feeling really rested and the other one is exhausted, why can't the rested one stay on a little bit longer?
You must have been great in school. Your teachers must have loved you.
I'm just
Because I'm sure you did this in class. I'm sure you went to the teacher and said, I don't know. Because, I see it differently.
My teachers taught me how to think, not how to regurgitate.
Do you see that there could be a benefit from keeping to the watch rotation schedule?
Especially if there are more people on board. Takes the thinking out of it. You just boom, boom, boom. Nobody has to debate about this or that. But I think maybe when there are 2 people, I think some flexibility could make it easier on both. It was really cool earlier. Seeing land.
Where did you see it? Off the starboard? That's probably that island there. Sharebook says, don't go there. There's a little harbor, but it's really treacherous races and current and rocks and depth and all hell to get in there. And so don't even go in there on a really perfectly calm day unless you've got a local with you to direct you on how to do it. So,
Are there rocks coming up, or?
no, we're in 300 feet of water.
No, I mean at the island. Are there semi-submerged rocks, or?
Yes.
You're making that up. You don't know.
The whole thing's a rock, It's like got rocks all around it.
Well, technically, we're on this great big rock called Earth. You see it?
No, where?
Right there.
Off our starboard, yeah, that's that island. I don't see it. But
It's right there.
yeah, I know
Put your
it's
glasses
there.
on.
I don't see land.
Straight ahead. If you look through
Yeah.
the jib sheet, that little thing over there, just above the water, looks almost like a cloud, but not.
Eyes aren't that good,
You're bringing us
Your
in.
eyes are awesome. You've got the best eyes, man. That's your superpower.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
You can always see stuff.
I
Every time
refuse.
we're looking for something in the water or looking for something on land, you see it first. Before anybody even has a clue yet, you always see it first. That's your superpower.
I don't want that to be my superpower.
Wow.
I I want a better superpower. That's not even a good superpower. Like, you see mildly better than some people. Like, that's your superpower.
Eagle eyes.
Okay, now look. There's more definition. See it?
I don't see anything.
It's right there. Like,
What?
it's a mountain.
I see nothing but fog.
It's kind of exciting to see.
There's no rule that says you can't have two superpowers. I mean, you know, good
I don't
visibility,
know. I think
good
they're kind
vision
of...
plus something else. Good.
Isn't that magical?
What?
Just nothing, and then boom. Can you imagine how excited people were before they knew it was coming? Like, you don't have GPS. You don't have anything. You're just pushing off from one land, going out into the unknown.
Yeah, or imagine if you were in a life raft for 6 months at sea and then all of a sudden you saw land.
You're a terrible cheerleader.
In 10.8 nautical miles, we will actually be entering the river. And we're going 4.5 knots to 5, so we'll be there in just over 2 hours. And then I assume it'll be another hour after that that we're in the actual harbor looking for a place to tie up. Calling the harbor master on channel 16 if there is one. Good thing is that we don't have much wind and we've got tons of sunlight. And we don't have fog, so really
It comes and goes.
this is good, yeah, but
I mean, this is amazing right now, but
it's
just,
pretty good right now.
what, 15 minutes ago you couldn't see the island, so...
Really.
Seagulls.
They were duking it out there a minute ago.
Is love in the air or is it territory? I don't know if they've been following us for the entire way, but it kind of feels like they have. And I think they must think that we are just like the suckiest fishing boat ever. Because they're just like circling and coming up behind us and like looking, and they'll land at the bow, and as we go forward they kind of float by and they're like looking at us, like, where's the fish? And I'm like, which got me to thinking, we haven't actually caught a fish. Ever. Like, in the 7,000 miles that we have sailed.
Now I have a big question for you. Could you try to summarize the 8 months that Paragon was in Iceland? We didn't film at all.
We didn't film much. I mean, we did film. I think that our time in Iceland was restorative and really busy. Like, we were editing and editing. Like, we threw ourselves into that. It was hard.
It was, wasn't it? It was full time. It was like wake up and start editing.
Like,
and
full-time would have been a break.
yeah.
It was more than full-time. We were working like 12 hours a day, editing and like getting all this stuff done, and I'm wondering if there's a better way that we can do it. We definitely didn't get around Iceland as much, but I like what we did. Like, we stayed in one place and we got to know people, and I got to know the lady at the grocery store, and I got to know like our neighbors and the people who run the cafe, and it wasn't, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, so we didn't see like all this stuff. We took some little trips, but by the time we left, like, we knew people, and that was really cool.
I think you just summed it up right there. That's awesome. Personally, I would much rather spend a big chunk of time in one place and get to know people rather than small amounts of time in many little places and never get to really know anyone or know that one place really well.
I think part of the reason that we didn't go, though, also is, like, a large part of the time that we were there, it was really bad weather. It wasn't like it was summer and gorgeous or just going into fall. Like, it was winter and there was snow and there was like all this wind and dark for 19, 20 hours out of the day, and it just wouldn't be fun to be out sailing in that and finding anchorages. And
No, it wouldn't have been possible. Not in
Like,
the wintertime, no way.
Yeah, that's when we were there, and then we had to leave. So, I think if we had not had to leave, it would have given us a little bit more time, you know? Maybe?
It was so cold that I didn't even want to go outside for anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to stay in the boat all day long,
Wow.
keep the wood fire going, and edit video for 14 hours a day. That kind of, in my mind, is what our time was like.
I think it was actually a nice break, because up until that point, we had just been going for like 7 or 8 months. We were just going constantly, looking at weather windows, sailing, getting here, exploring, meeting people, filming. And so by the time we got to Iceland, I think we were all just like, I just need a break. So it was nice.
So I'm sorry we didn't film more in Iceland. We were just too tired. Oh, jeez.
Oh, down? Oh my god, you're amazing. So we're heading into Faroe, and it is just striking. These islands that appear to just burst out of the water, going straight up. It's going to be a lot of fun to kind of hike around, see the places, take some pictures. I'm really excited to get on. Actually, not necessarily on land. I'm just really excited to like tie up to a dock or drop the anchor and take a shower and eat a hot meal while not bouncing back and forth. It's going to be awesome. It's always interesting when you get here and you see land and it's like right there, you're like, we're here! But it's still like another 8 to 10 miles to get to where we're going. So like an hour and a half later, you're like, we're still here.
But it's a lot different than not seeing land for 7 days, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was saying earlier, the weird thing about us taking off from where we did and not stopping at the Vestmann Islands is we basically had land in sight for the first, like, what, 2 days?
Yeah.
At least, but 2 solid days. Like Iceland was there. We were just 30 miles south of Iceland. So even though we were underway and like we were on our watch rotations and we're trying to get into, you know, we're at sea again. It's like Iceland was right there. We're like, hey. Made you feel like you weren't really going anywhere. So everything we read about the Faroe Islands in the cruising book that we have kind of scared us a little bit, to say the least. It said that approaches to the Faroe Islands would most likely be in bad weather, fog is likely, rain, swift currents, dangerous, just danger everywhere. So coming up, you know, there are all of these channels going between the islands that tides just rip through and add fog, and if you get some bad weather and wind, and it was just weighing on our minds a little bit. We weren't sure if we were going to have to hook to. Once we got here, you know, a safe distance offshore and wait for fog to lift or weather to get better. And I think that's the worst, to get to your destination and be so close and not be able to approach because you're trying to be as safe as possible. But luckily, I just want to cross my fingers. It looks like things are great. I always hate to say prematurely, but The water is calm. The fog that we had earlier has lifted. A great visibility.
Tacking back and forth for 500 miles, 600 miles. It was exhausting. We did 3 hours on, 3 hours off, and I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we're here. And I'm really excited to find out what's in store for us in Faro. One thing for sure is that we are ready to go back into filming mode. I apologize, but during our time in Iceland, we were just too tired from our 7 months of sailing to get there. And after we arrived in Iceland and Dana went back, he flew back to Ireland, we kind of just rested and didn't want to think about filming. I regret it now so much because there was so much to film, so many cool things about Iceland and really amazing, wonderful people, and we really got to know the place a lot, but we didn't film anything. A few small aerial things and maybe some other small bits and pieces, but no major filming everyday kind of schedule like we had up until we got to Iceland. So we want to film in Faro as much as possible. We're really committed to it right from the beginning. We're going to be, filming at every opportunity and trying to film every day. So we hope to show you the Faro Islands. Apparently we're going to be going into some little channel right ahead of us. From far away, the mountains don't look green at all, but once you get close, you see that they are covered with green. As dorky as these glasses look, they come in pretty handy when you sit on them and you break them like this because they just snap back together, so they're pretty indestructible. Just breathtaking. I've never seen anything like it. These mountains just jutting up out of the ocean with depths of hundreds of feet right up until the mountain face. We're headed into a river. There's an opening and then it goes for many miles. God, it's just so beautiful. I've never seen anything like this.
Ever?
It's a little bit like Greenland, but also quite unique. I wonder how these rocks formed. I mean, is this all volcanic activity that created these mountains like 1 million years ago? Going to a harbor called Vestman, not to be confused with the Vestman Islands south of Iceland. It's supposed to be the best, as in most protected. Wow, we just got some current that sent me off to starboard there. I can see little eddies in the surface of the water, current going all over the place.
Yeah, there's some pretty strong currents in here. What's your speed over ground?
We're going 3.6 knots over ground.
Wow, and it's 5.2 through the water.
Yep.
So you've almost got 2 knots of current against you?
2 knots against, yeah.
Not as bad as some of the places here, though.
No, it gets up to 12 knots in some places. Perhaps even here, I'm not sure. But I'm glad that we're going against it. That means that we'll only be fighting it and not running with it, and if we become overpowered we can just go back out.
Turn around.
Yeah.
More control.
But we should be at the Vestman Harbor in about 1 hour from now. We should be right in the harbor itself, calling the harbor master, asking him for help, for recommendations on where we can stay.
I think a lot of those white spots over on the cliffs are actually birds nesting. So there's a big eddy right here in the middle, and it looks like there's current over there. It's just full of current. It's making it really hard for someone to steer.
It's really bizarre. All of a sudden the boat will just turn to starboard or turn to port. I mean, big turns, like 20, 30 degrees.
It's like when you're going past all those inlets in like North Carolina. They lead out into the ocean and you get that current coming in.
Yeah, but not like this. This is like I've been carried to port, carried to starboard. Just all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, you're going to port and you got to compensate.
Well, pay attention there, Small, as you're going to starboard and there's a cliff coming down.
See that big lighthouse up there?
No, I didn't see that. Big lighthouse right here on the cliff. There's a big swirl up here.
Yeah. It's interesting. The current is stronger in different pockets. A while back, I was barely making 3 knots, and now I'm making 5.
I think that's about to change.
The speed through the water has been the same, 5 knots.
It's actually producing little waves.
I don't know what's going to happen here. I actually don't like the looks of that. I'm going to head to port. We're in infinite depth. It's like 700 feet depth right
Really? Are those animals? Is that like a cow or a sheep or something?
here. I don't know, maybe.
May I have the binoculars, please? Several houses and what looks like some black sheep, I think, grazing on the hill. I heard there's a lot of sheep here. Okay, so we just came into this fjord, I guess, and we're looking around, and it looks like there are a bunch of boulders and other things on the side of these green mountains, but there are sheep all over the place. So this somewhat steep precipice with all of this grass and all of these sheep are just kind of hanging out. This is so cute. Wow. Looks like the birds are digging the fish farm. There's a boat up there, I'm sure you see them.
I see him. Vestmanna Harbormaster, Vestmanna Harbormaster, sailing vessel Paragon, Paragon channel 16, over. Okay, so we're unable to contact anybody. We're gonna have to figure this out. Not calling anybody. That sucks. Well, I see a bunch of big tires down there. I'd say that's...
Do you think that's a ferry?
I don't know what it is, but like if we can't find somewhere else, that'll be it. VN42, sailing vessel on your port side, over? No, you're not there.
Sailing vessel to Vestmanna, sailing vessel to Vestmanna,
This is a sailing vessel. We are looking for somewhere to dock and to clear in with customs, over?
Okay, just come on channel 10 for me, will you?
Thank you, channel 10.
For your sailing vessel, I've heard you tried to contact the harbour master. Today is actually a public holiday, so this is not the I'm not the harbour master, it's a local sightseeing boat taking tourists out, but I heard you were trying to call. I can give you his telephone number if you need that, otherwise I think you are okay to just dock your boat by wish, and I'm not sure about customs though, but I can give you the telephone number if you need from the harbour master.
Yes, thank you very much. You've just become barely readable. Do you know where would be best for us to tie up over? Must have just gone around the corner or something. Guess I can't hear him now. Who would have knew? It's a public holiday.
Well, why don't we,
Tie up over there.
yeah.
This is beautiful. Are you ready to dock? You're gonna have to climb on the pier and tie lines. You're on bow, I'm on stern, okay? The first line you want to get set is the spring line off of the bow. Once you can get the spring line off of the bow set, then I can just motor forward to keep the boat coming up against the pier. You're not going to be able to climb those tires, are you? Well, it looks like somebody here might be able to help us. How's your dad? Hi! How are you?
Hi.
We just sailed from Iceland. Yeah, we're from the States, but we came from Iceland. I think we're going to try to tie up down there by the ladder. Yeah. Is it okay? Do you know? Hi. We're looking for customs and immigration.
Watch your bow.
Only 2 people.
Yeah.
Could you tie that line for us? Thank you so much.
Yeah?
Yeah. Any way is fine. Any way to tie it. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Westman, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah?
We just arrived.
Yeah?
Thank you very much. We're very happy to be here.